At UFC gym in Yorktown, there are warriors in training, one of which being Marcos Estrada, a trainer at the UFC gym. He will make his premiere at Supremacy 2019 at the 155-pound weight class. He intends to have victory, have his hand raised. He will do all that it takes to prepare to win.
I've been taking classes for about when it just started from January up until now. With Marco, he gave me perspective of offense and defense on the boxing scale down to the kickboxing, and then the wrestling, the same thing. I mean, level changes really improve how I perform as an individual from work all the way to just day-to-day activities with my kids.
I think he's going to do September 1st.
For September 1st, I think he's going to do amazing. He's going to surprise a lot of people in techniques, down to the skill level of cardio, to performance on the ring and off the ring as a professional athlete.
Predict an early finish?
I predict for Marco to win regardless of what the finishing is, and still keep the composure of the fact that the art of boxing towards martial arts.
How long have you been working with Marcos?
I've been working with Marcos for over 4.5 years right now. It's going on 4.5, 5 years. Been watching him develop more and more as a coach as well as a fighter. He's pretty well-rounded. He does it all. He does the Muay Thai, the Jiu-Jitsu, the MMA, strength conditioning, mobility, flexibility work. So he's great to have on staff. He's even a better fighter to watch.
How's he going to do September 1st?
September 1st, he's going to go out there and he's going to display all his craft. I mean, like I said, he's really well-rounded. He's been doing this for quite some time now, and it's nice to watch him develop as such an awesome fighter, and he's really going to put on a show, and I can't wait to be there.
Predicting an early finish?
Absolutely. He's a little hot-headed sometimes, so I can see him finishing it quick. If it goes stand-up, if it goes to the ground, either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a good fight, and I'm excited to just go and watch him do his thing.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Bobby Experience. With me, sitting on this couch, I have a trainer who has an upcoming fight that's here. We are in Yorktown UFC gym. I have trainer Marcos Estrada that has an upcoming fight September 1st for Supremacy. Marcos, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
All right. So, first off, how'd you get started in MMA?
In MMA, man, so I started wrestling when I was about 4 years old. I was introduced to the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at about 9 or 10. My dad has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. My uncle fought professionally for a long time, so I was always around wrestling and fighting and combat sports. This was just kind of more of a natural path for me.
Okay, great. So it just kind of ran in the family, just had that in common.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my uncle trained and fought all over the world, or at least most of North America, and they got to go to different gyms and train in different places. And being a kid, I got to come along with and train with some really cool people.
Great. And I'm glad to have you as one of the instructors here. I've attended the no-gi jiu-jitsu class, but I recently went on Amazon and purchased a gi, so
Okay.
Start taking the gi class too. But
Absolutely.
I'm grateful to have you as an instructor. So as for you being here at the UFC gym here in Yorktown, how long have you been here?
Yeah, so I've been at this location, started in February. I've been with the UFC gym since about 2015. I left and came back for a little while. I was doing some other work other places. So yeah, I'm part of the company for close to 4 years now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. All right, who are some of your favorite fighters?
Favorite fighters, man. Obviously, growing up watching the UFC in the early 2000s, George St. Pierre is obviously the number one. I mean, he's the truest martial artist I think the UFC has ever seen. So of course, his discipline and just ability to win fights and take people apart is one of my favorite growing up to watch. I would say right now maybe Tony Ferguson. I mean, the way that he just dismantles people. I mean, some of the top guys in the world, he just, made them look like amateurs, and it's pretty crazy to see. It's definitely, I know I would never want to fight him, not at 155.
Yeah, I was hoping myself that he'd eventually fight Khabib, but that didn't fall through.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people were waiting for that. It's funny because, you can't get too excited when you see UFCs being posted because injury knocks people out all the time. Khabib and Tony Ferguson being two of those guys who often find themselves hurt.
Okay. All right, to switch gears a little bit, there's an upcoming UFC this Saturday, UFC 241.
Okay.
So it is Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
Heavyweight championship on the line. This is their second fight, rematch. What are your predictions?
Man, that I feel like just like anybody else, they can say it can go either way. Obviously, DC got the better of him in the last exchange and knocked him out pretty clean. He's fighting at a heavier weight, so he's hitting harder. I think Stipe is the X factor in this. How is he going to react? Is he going to allow it to happen again, or is he going to change his game plan? Maybe stay out of the clinch. I think if he uses his boxing more, DC would be in for a long night. But of course, DC does have that knockout power at heavyweight. So I think that was the first time we've ever seen Stipe, hurt. Right? I don't think anyone's ever put it on him like that. And so, he's not Superman, right? He's a human being. So it'll be interesting to see, man. I don't really have a prediction. DC's my boy being a wrestler, but Stipe, he's a true champion. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and defer on that one.
Okay. All right. And there's someone making a return. Nate Diaz had about a 3-year layoff.
For sure.
He's coming back to fight Anthony Showtime Pettis. What are your thoughts, predictions on this?
Well, I've always been a Nate Diaz fan of the Diaz brothers since the beginning. I've always been Team Diaz, even when he fought Conor. So, it's not going to change now. I feel like even 3 years off for Nate Diaz is not 3 years off for your normal person. I'm sure he's still been running and swimming. And he's got his own academy now, the Nick Diaz Academy. So I'm sure he's just been, kicking it, chilling, and I think that he's going to put it on Showtime.
All right, very good. Marcus, what do you know about your opponent? Who are you fighting on September 1st?
So he is out of Hybrid MMA. He's a 155-pounder. He's 0-0 too, so I don't really know much about him. That's kind of how amateur MMA is. You just kind of go in there, hope to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. So my game plan isn't going to change no matter what he does or who he is. So yeah, I don't know too much about him, unfortunately.
All right, so you don't know if he's like more of a stand-up or wrestler, or so it's gonna be just a kind of a surprise.
It's gonna be a surprise. I mean, it's funny because I feel like that's the way fighting should be, right? It's there, it's in the moment, right? It's not hey, I'm gonna train for you for 6 months and then I'm gonna train for 6 months. We're both gonna fight each other. It's hey, I got skills, you got skills. Let's put them up right now. So there's always that added adrenaline factor.
All right, so I guess maybe it's pros and cons. You don't get to see a video of some reel of what to expect.
Yeah.
But then again, he doesn't know what to expect from you.
That's exactly right. I mean, he can, look to some of the content that I've posted and know that, I'm come from a grappling background, but he's still got to stop it. So.
Right. And the thing is, too, this is MMA. Who's to say that, if he's more of a boxer, who knows if he's going to probably go for more takedowns.
Yeah.
We'll have yet to see.
Yeah, it would be a bad day if he decided to go for takedowns, but I got punches and kicks just the same. And yeah, whatever I need to do to make it work is what I'm going to do.
All right. Great. All right, so who would you like to send a shout out to that would be watching?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to have a huge group of people at September 1st. From what I've heard, you can't even buy tickets at the door yet. So I just want to thank everybody who's helped me along this journey, everyone at the Ooflacker Academy, the Sickness Squad at the Pharaoh Academy, people who've come together and joined, Angelo Rivera has really taken me under his wing, Super Dan, Coach Herc, all those guys have been part of the journey and have, added something specific to it. Champion Taekwondo, Papa Medina, I know is going through, he's got cancer surgery, so him and his son, they've both really given me the gift of Taekwondo, and couldn't be more appreciative of it. So everybody else who I've forgotten, I always forget people, so my apologies, but come out September 1st.
Well, thanks for being on the Bobby Experience. For more MMA videos and food videos about food and other topics, tune in. Thanks once again, Marcus. And this is Bobby and Marcus signing off. Take care. Peace. Hey, so I'm now on Patreon. If you like this episode and other content, please consider clicking on the link for my Patreon page below and supporting the channel. Till next time, take care.